Today we are diving into a powerful concept that could transform the way you approach your goals and personal growth. We'll be exploring the key ideas from the 12-week year by Brian P. Moran and Michael Lennington. Have you ever felt like you are capable of so much more but somehow struggle to achieve your goals? Many of us get caught in the trap of annual planning and long-term goal settings only to find ourselves falling short or losing motivation along the way. The 12-week year challenges this traditional mindset. Instead of spreading your goals over an entire year, this method encourages you to compress them in just 12 weeks. Imagine accomplishing in just 3 months what you'd normally aim for in a year. It's not just about doing more faster, it's about aligning your daily actions with your goals and operating at your absolute best. Throughout this video, we'll explore the core principles of the 12-week year and discuss practical strategies you can implement right away. So, let's dive in. Most of us believe that our success and failure is determined by what we achieve over the course of a year. We set annual goals, create annual plans, and in many cases break the goals down into quarterly, monthly, and sometimes even weekly plans. But in the end, we evaluate our success annually. The trap is what is called annualized thinking. Stop thinking in terms of a year. Instead, focus on shorter time frames. In sport, there is a concept called periodization, that is a focused training regimen that concentrates on one skill at a time for a limited period, usually 4 to 6 weeks. After each 4 to 6 week period, the athlete then moves to the next skill in sequence. In this way, capacity in each skill is maximized. Using the periodization concept, let's redefine a year. A year is no longer 12 months. It is now only 12 weeks. Now there is a just 12-week year, followed by the next 12-week year, and so on, and we focus on achieving exceptional results within each individual period. We behave differently when a deadline approaches. We procrastinate less, we reduce or eliminate avoidance activity, and we focus more on the things that matter. It's important to understand that the results we achieve are a direct byproduct of the actions we take. Our actions are manifestations of our underlying thinking. Ultimately, it is our thinking that drives our results. When we focus on changing our actions, we experience incremental improvements. However, when our thinking shifts, everything changes. Breakthrough results don't start with our actions. They are first created in our thinking. To achieve a year results in just 12 weeks, you will need a great execution system. The 12 weeks execution system is based on 3 principles, 5 disciplines, and 1 cycle. Those are the fundamental elements to high performance in any endeavors. The 3 principles, accountability, commitment, and greatness in the moment, determine an individual's effectiveness and success. Let's take a closer look at each one. Accountability is ultimately ownership. You have to be willing to own the results you generate, regardless of distractions, unfavorable circumstances, or anything else. To be genuinely accountable, you have to keep asking yourself, what more can I do to get the results I need? Commitment is the willingness to own your future actions and results. In a sense, commitment is accountability projected into the future. It is ownership of the future actions and results. Greatness is not achieved when a great result is reached, but long before that, when an individual makes the choices to do what is necessary to become great. An athlete becomes great not when she breaks the world record and wins a medal. That's when the world recognizes her. The athlete achieves greatness months, perhaps years earlier, when she decides to run the extra mile, swim the extra laps, or to perform just one jump more. You become great long before the results show it. It happens the moment you choose to do the things you need to do to be great. To work the 12-week year, you have to get better at applying the 5 disciplines in a way which leverages your knowledge and skills to best effect. Let's take each discipline in turn. The first one is vision. If you have a compelling and engaging vision, you'll be able to make a sustained effort to make good things happen. To help you stay on track, you will need a powerful reason why, and that is your vision. When you envision a major accomplishment beyond your past achievements, the first question often is, how would I do this? This is the wrong question so early in the process. If you knew how to achieve it, you'd likely already be doing it. The mindset plays a crucial role. If you think something is impossible, you will never attain it. The first step then is to shift from impossible thinking to possible thinking. You do this not by asking how, but by asking yourself, what if? This question opens your mind to new possibilities and help you imagine alternatives. Once you see your vision as possible, you shift from possible to probable by asking, how might I? What if drives visioning, while how drives planning. The final shift is from probable to given, which occurs naturally as you implement actions. In the given state, doubt disappears, and mentally you are already experiencing the end result. The second discipline is planning. One of the reasons that many people don't work from a plan is that they have a belief that goes something like this: I already know what I need to do, so I don't need a plan to get it done. But unfortunately, the world is noisy, the unexpected happens, distractions arise, the phone rings, the email rings, a new task appears, and we lose focus on the things that we know we should do. That's why, to increase your odds of success, one of the most powerful things you can do is to create and work from a written plan. The plan is the roadmap needed to reach your 12-week goals. It defines the actions that you'll need to take each week of the 12 to reach your goal. For example, I might have a 12-week goal to lose 10 pounds and another goal to generate 2 million euro in new business. Each of those goals then become a planning target for which I need to write tactics, which are the specific actions I must take to achieve my goals. If I'm working on losing weight, my tactics might include: limit calories intake to 1,200 per day, do 20 minutes of cardio 3 times per week. My business increase goal will have a separate set of tactics. There are 5 criteria that helps to create better 12-week plans. The first one is to make them specific and measurable. For each goal and tactic, quantify and qualify what success looks like. How many pounds will you lose? How much business will you generate? The second criteria is to state them positively. The third criteria is to make sure they are realistic stretch. If you usually drink 2 or 3 glasses of water per day, a tactic like drink 6 glasses of water per day might be a bridge too far. A more realistic tactic that will still be a stretch might be drink 4 glasses of water per day in the first week and 6 glasses of water per day starting week 2. The fourth criteria is to assign accountability. This applies to people who are executing as part of the team. Individual accountability for each goal and tactic is crucial because everyone's challenge is no one's challenge. The fifth criteria is to be time-bound. That means to include a date by which the goal is to be reached or the tactic is to be executed. In addition to the previous criteria, each tactic should start with a verb and be a complete sentence. As you start developing your 12-week plan, think about how will you answer the following 2 questions. What actions will you struggle with? And what can you do and what will you do to overcome those struggles? The 12-week year starts with a vision, and from that vision you establish a set of 12-week goals. Based on those goals, you develop a 12-week plan, for which you most likely have specific tactics that are new actions for you. New actions are almost always uncomfortable. That's one of the things that makes changes so difficult. It's one thing to identify the actions needed to create a better result. It's a whole other thing to consistently do them. And here comes process control. How you make sure things get done. There are 2 items that form the foundation of process control: weekly plans and peer support. Weekly plans translate the 12-week plan into daily and weekly actions. It reflects the critical strategic activities that need to take place that week in order to achieve your goal. The second element is peer support. The authors of the book recommend a group of 2 to 4 committed individuals to meet weekly accountability meetings. This meeting is not about trying to hold each other accountable, but rather fostering individual accountability to consistently execute your plan. It's a short meeting that is typically held on Monday morning after everyone had had a chance to plan their week, and it lasts approximately 50 to 30 minutes. The weekly plan and weekly accountability meeting are 2 steps in a 3-steps process called the weekly routine, which involves scoring your week, planning your week, and participate in a weekly accountability meeting. The fourth discipline is measurement. In the best measurement system, there are lead indicators and lag indicators. The lag indicators are the end results. Lead indicators are the things that happen earlier in the execution process. Let's say I want to lose 10 pounds. The total weight goal of 10 pounds is a lag indicator because it happens at the end of the 12 weeks. A good lead measure might be the number of calories that I eat daily or weekly. Another might be the number of workouts I have each week. Whatever indicator you measure, be sure to track and record your progress each week of your 12 weeks. Most people are reasonably good at tracking their lag indicators, But the opportunity for growth is the greatest with lead indicators. By the time you are measuring results, it's usually too late to do anything different to influence the outcome. Let's go back to my goal. My goal was to lose 10 pounds during 12-week period. My plan included tactics like do 20 minutes of cardio a minimum of 5 times a week, train with weights 3 times per week, drink at least 6 glasses of water each day. As part of my measurement system, I'm going to weigh myself each week and record my weight. But my weight is a lag indicator, so I'm going to score my execution. To score my execution in this case, I would identify the number of tactics I completed as percentage of the total number possible. So if I completed 3 out of 4, my weekly execution score would be 75%. I may have lost 2 pounds this week, but still only score 75%. Because the result is lagging, I want to pay close attention to both measures. And even though I lost 2 pounds, I did not have a good week from an execution standpoint. What that tells me is that unless I execute better next week, my weight loss will stall out. The fifth discipline is time use. One of the barriers that people often cite when explaining what keeps them from achieving more is a lack of time. In reality, it's not a lack of time, but the way we allocate the time that we have. The problem is that the world is rife with potential distractions and interruptions that arise non-stop throughout the day. A study carried out back in 2005 concluded that 28% of the average professional's time is wasted on interruptions that crop up randomly. That's about 11 distracted hours in a 40-hour week. The choices that you make on how you spend your time ultimately create your results. The breakdown lies in the moment-by-moment choices. Some of our choices may make it seem like we are staying busy, when in reality we are choosing to avoid our more important and often more difficult activity. This tendency shows up everywhere in our life and includes things like following up on emails and messages rather than tackling the more difficult but higher payoff activity like making sales calls. The key to packing a year's worth of achievements in just 12 weeks is to be intentional about how you use your time. A good way to do this is to take your schedule and allocate 3 different blocks of time. Strategic blocks are 3 hours long. This is uninterrupted time when you turn off your phone and computer and focus all your intellect and all your creativity on your most important goals and projects. Buffer blocks are when you deal with low-value activities. Depending on your needs, one 30 minutes buffer block per day may be sufficient, or you may need 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour at the end of the day. Breakout blocks are also 3 hours long in a week. You use this time to recharge your batteries. It's crucial that you construct your week on paper before you try to execute what you want to do. Just make sure you are getting the most important activities in first. We've reached the end of the video, and by now we've learned that consistently and effective execution is the single market differentiator. The 12-week execution system consists of 3 principles, 5 disciplines, and 1 cycle. Those are the fundamental elements to high performance in any endeavors. One of the challenges with those disciplines and principles is that most people know what they are, but knowing and doing are 2 different things. Remember, it's not what you know, it's not even who you know, it's what you implement that counts. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.